ADA for separating from my husband because he refused to get a vasectomy? Advice needed. My husband, 28M, who I will call Jack, and I, 27, have been together for 4 years. We have 2 young children and I am pregnant again. I have been pregnant for what feels like most of our relationship. I got pregnant 4 months into our relationship. We got married a month before our daughter's first birthday and ended up with a honeymoon baby. After our son was born, I talked to my OB and she put me on birth control and I have been taking it militantly. My daughter is now 3 and my son is 2. A little over a month ago, I discovered I am pregnant again, despite taking my birth control religiously. Abortion is banned in my state, and the pregnancy was discovered too far along to attempt to obtain one out of state. While Jack and I were nervous, we also love being parents and decided that 3 young kids would be a challenge, but 3 was a good number for us. Then we went in for the first ultrasound and got some unexpected news. It was twins. Things have been tough financially, and while we were stressed but excited for a 3rd child, we were not expecting a 3rd and 4th child. Beyond the finances, I am the primary caretaker and I know that twins are going to be a lot. 3 children under 5 is already a lot, but 4 children under 5 are going to be difficult for me. Physically, I am tired of being pregnant. I've been pregnant or breastfeeding for the majority of our relationship. It's exhausting, it feels awful, and I don't recognize my body anymore. 4 children are enough. I don't want more. I told Jack that I was done with pregnancy. I've been pregnant enough. I've been experimenting with different types of birth control for over a decade and I still can't stop getting pregnant. Abortion isn't a valid option where we live. We need something more permanent. He agreed and suggested an IUD. I told him no. If it did fail, then it could cause an ectopic pregnancy which could kill me, especially where we live. I've had both controls fail me multiple times already and I'm not taking the chance, so I suggested a vasectomy. He was not open to the idea and was even upset that I suggested it and told me I should get my tubes tied. I told him a tubal ligation is a much bigger surgery and I could be recovering for weeks, during which time I wouldn't be able to work or take care of our 4 young children, but he could ice his balls for a day or 2 and be done with it. He told me that not getting pregnant was ultimately my responsibility and topped it off by saying, "That's what your body, your choice means. Your body, so you choose." That's when it went from a discussion to a full-blown fight. See, when I was 19, I had another birth control failure with my boyfriend at the time, who I will call Tom. I wanted an abortion, but Tom did not because he was opposed. I told him I was getting the abortion since it was my body and my choice, and Tom said some horrible things to me, including threatening me. I broke up with him and got an abortion. In response, Tom ended up following me one night and attacking me. I don't want to go into detail, but it was horrible, and he ended up going to prison for several charges related to the attack. Not only do I have several scars and some long-lasting physical effects, but I have PTSD as well. Jack knows about my history and diagnosis and has known from the beginning. I have a pretty prominent facial scar, so I was upfront about it early on in our dating. Jack always presented himself as very pro-choice, so I was shocked that he would say that. I got emotional and started crying and shouting, and it turned into a full-blown fight. Eventually, I said that birth control is a two-way street and so far I've been the only one managing it, and he said, "And now we have 2 kids and 2 more coming, great job." I told him he sounded like Tom and he got super pissed, basically saying, "How dare you compare me to him? And maybe he might want kids one day with someone who doesn't compare him to her felon ex-boyfriend." I was stunned and horrified. I said, "Well then, let's not waste any time," then packed up myself and the kids and drove to my parents' place. It's been about a week since the fight. I've spoken with Jack a few times and he has since apologized and said he was out of line and was speaking from a place of anxiety after finding out about the twins, but also that I said things that were out of line and it was wrong of me to insist he undergo a medical procedure. He said that can move on from the things I said and that he wants to see his children and be a family again. I told him no, that I didn't want him to move on from the things he said to me. I can't just get over that, and I think we need space apart. Jack was upset by this, and while we talked, I brought up getting a separation agreement to manage custody and finances while we figure things out. He did not like this suggestion and said we didn't need to pull the courts into this. I haven't told a lot of people about what's happening but my family and a couple of close friends. My sister and best friend both think I should throw the whole man away, but my brother, who is the only other one married with kids, thinks that I'm being extreme for what sums up to a fight between 2 scared people who both said nasty things. My mom is trying to be supportive but is occasionally reminding me that I don't want to be a single mother of 4 and telling me not to let my PTSD drive my decisions, while my dad is being completely unhelpful. He thinks jokes are helpful, like calling me doorknob because I can't stop getting knocked up, telling me to let the oven cool down, real knee slappers. I don't know what to do. My kids are happy to be at grandma and grandpa's house, but they miss their daddy. I'm 4 months pregnant and already uncomfortable as hell. I wish I could go back to being a happy little family, but I'm so hung up on the things he said in that fight. Am I destroying my family over one bad night? Am I being unreasonable for asking my husband to get a vasectomy? Edit. I've noticed a lot of people recommending condoms. I have gotten pregnant with condoms twice. Our second child and my first pregnancy were both conceived using condoms properly, correct fit, put on correctly, single use, not expired, no breaks, etc. I do not trust condoms enough to not fail a third time. I know the failure rate is supposedly small, but it's not personally small enough for me. Edit to the edit. I'm sorry, I didn't expect so many comments so fast and I can't keep up with them. By the first pregnancy, I mean the pregnancy with Tom. With Jack, I was on the patch when I got pregnant with our daughter, condoms with our son, and the pill with the twins. So far, I haven't ever suspected that Jack has tampered with our birth control and always presumed that I'm a fertile myrtle. I recognize the comments and just want people to know I'm seeing the suggestion. I'm not dismissing it, but the thought of it is deeply upsetting and has provoked a lot of anxiety. I just wanted to make it clear that if the suggestion is only based on condoms, the condom pregnancies were with 2 different partners. While I know I always used condoms properly with Tom, I do believe that Tom could have been fully capable of sabotaging the condoms.